If you feel like your life has been going off the rails on the crazy train in the last few days, you need to watch this video because we are having some massive aftershocks, so to say, from this Libra solar eclipse and this eclipse season of fall of 2024. We had the Libra solar eclipse on October 2nd, and let me tell you personally, my life feels like it just completely crumbled and fell apart to some degree. And I did not quite expect that, even though everyone always says eclipses are intense. So in this video, I kind of want to recap a little bit about what the eclipse was all about, why these things are falling apart, and really why it's all falling together, as well as incorporating a little bit of a tarot reading into this for all signs, giving you your piece of advice in summary as to why this is all happening. Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while for my subscribers, and sorry, not sorry. I partly haven't filmed because I really want to personally focus on this eclipse season, but also want you guys, in a way, to be just focused on eclipse season. Hence why I had my last 2-hour video that took forever to film, and I just left it at that because I really feel like this one video was really all we needed as direction for this eclipse season from mid-September to beginning of October. And I know it's really hard to shift into also filming mode after taking such a long hiatus. So bear with me here as I'm trying to gather my thoughts and get used to talking behind the camera again. But I haven't filmed in a while, and I really think it's because I really feel like all of our attention has been or should be focused on this eclipse. Oftentimes I feel like astrologers tell us about so many transits that it's unrealistic with our busy lives. And I love using astrology for application and for help in life. So I haven't filmed partly because of that belief I stand by, because I think we should all just kind of be focused on this eclipse, and we have been. And if you're like me, you probably expected this to be a nice easy breeze, or maybe even just some destined positive events because this is Libra, light energy. But for many, I think there was an unexpected strike. There was an unexpected shock. It feels like I opened with this, going off the rails on the crazy train, like the song. And I've definitely been hit with what feels like a brick right in the face, full force, or a car going 90 miles an hour in my life, and it was unexpected and it was not fun. So I wanted to recap a little bit about the eclipse and kind of talk about it and really reflect on what may have happened in your life and invite you guys to reflect and sharing my own personal reflection to remember why this is all happening, because eclipses are destined events, or at least that is the philosophy. And if you feel like something is going wrong in your life, if things aren't going according to plan, it is very possible that it's just that this is playing out in a bigger scale, a bigger story for you than you may have been ready for. I know that is what happened for me. So if you feel like your life has gone off the tracks, if you're wanting to reflect on what has happened for you during this eclipse, I highly encourage you to do so then you know where you're heading. Self-reflection is really the key to living a life of clarity, because if we don't reflect, how are we supposed to see? So I want to just kind of talk about that. So we had the eclipse on October 2nd of 2024, or the 3rd, depending on your time zone. And this was in Libra. It was the final eclipse in Libra that we'll have for a long, long time. And it was conjunct Mercury. Libra is all about collaboration, cooperation. And in the negative, it means that we seek approval in order to feel like we are connected. In the positive, it is the diplomat, the peacemaker, someone who makes everyone feel included. And let me tell you, just saying that's been a huge theme in my life in the last 48 hours. And I'll get to my own personal story in a minute. But the Libra eclipse for us all is about our connections, and whatever house it's happening in for us based off of our sun sign and rising is going to indicate where those connections are being triggered. If it's your 4th house, if you're a Cancer, it's your family connections. If you're Libra's 10th house, if you're a Capricorn, then it's your career connections. If you're an Aries like me, this could be your one-on-one relationships or your friendships. Regardless, our relationship with connecting with other people has been activated. And these are themes that were surfacing last October and also this spring of 2024, end of March of 2024. And maybe we're, as a result of whatever's happening right now, deciding that things need to change. This really should have been the final boundary setting for us. And it's possible that because eclipses bring destined events, that you've been reflecting on and realizing, okay, these are the boundaries I need to set. These are what I'm going to stand by for my relationships. And in a way, maybe the universe decided for you. So for me, to bring this in to help you guys understand maybe what played out, I had, in spring of 2024, ended my romantic relationship with my boyfriend. It was a 1-year relationship, loved him, decided to cut it off. In that previous October, I was having a lot of relationship stresses, and I started self-sacrificing and all the things that I cared about in order to maintain the relationship, abandoning myself. And then right before this eclipse, I was really deciding, you know what, I kind of want a relationship. I don't actually though, well, I want to date, but I don't need a relationship. And looking back at all the previous eclipses that have happened in the last 3 years, I noticed how much my life revolved around this feeling of finding my place of belonging. And as a full-time traveler, that's a very big theme for me. And I think that's a theme for a lot of people. But for me, it was literally about finding a place where I felt like I belonged. And over the last few days, as I've been sitting in this intention of, okay, I don't need a place to prove I belong. I just do belong. And I expect people to treat me as such. And that's not necessarily to say doting or anything, but it's just treated with fair mutual respect. And over the last 48 hours, to put this story very shortly, have had basically what feels like long-term friends, or people who I would have thought to be friends become what feels like strangers and not treat me the way that I expected to be treated, which is mutual respect and appreciation. Especially because I treated all those people with this respect and appreciation. So if anything, it's just been a realization for me, simply put, on neutrality and detachment and knowing that everything is going to fall into place. Things basically unexpected happen. I'm really butchering this story, and it's partly just because I've told it on my personal Instagram and I didn't feel like I needed to repeat it, but I was supposed to compete in this competition, and then basically no one told me when it was happening, but everyone else knew. So it was very much this feeling of being an outsider with people who I thought were friends, and it was a bit painful, especially because it crossed over with one of my most important goals, which was to do these certain kinds of dance competitions. So that was something. Life went off the tracks there, and it made me realize, what am I even doing? Why am I even here? Do I even care about these connections? Should I be going somewhere else? Very Libra. Is there things that need to be said? That is another thing to contemplate. I think for a lot of us, it's possible that this eclipse played out as maybe something was left unsaid, or it feels like something's left unsaid. And the reminder is that eclipse energy really doesn't fully dissipate until we have our next full moon. We'll have the full moon, I believe, on October 17th. It's a full moon in Aries, which will be interesting as well because Aries is the North Node sign right now. And so it's possible that we'll have another resurgence of stepping into our growth after moving forward in our South Node energy, healing energy related to our relationships and healing our codependent patterns. Regardless, something may have been pushed out based on our boundaries that we've set. It could be in our family life, it could be in our career life, it could be in any area of life, but it's possible that something has really just been shoved out, it feels like. So I wanted to kind of recap and I feel like now's the time to tie in maybe what specifically has happened for each of the zodiac signs. Again, I haven't filmed in a while, so this is a little weird for me to adapt to. Bear with me if I'm a little all over the place. I'm trying to keep my head straight right now. And I've had a very emotional last 24 hours after having this basically heartbreak with my place of belonging and how I expected my life to go. And I honestly don't usually tell people about my personal Instagram because usually there's some, to be honest, kind of creepy people on here who then go find me and then send me weird messages. But on my personal Instagram, if you want to just search for my name, I'm sure you'll find it on Instagram. I shared my most recent post about going deeper into what my personal story was around this time and how all of my story played out. If you're interested to know more details on what happened and get more of my philosophy. Really quick, please tap into the Aries energy of the 12 zodiac signs. 2 cards per zodiac sign. First card is what really fell apart or happens for them during this eclipse season, this Libra eclipse, and why this is all happening. What happened and why. I know there's technically ways that you can do tarot without having to say things out loud, but I feel like I needed to sometimes because I feel like my intentions aren't clear, especially when I'm trying to think about what I'm saying next on this video. Overall, all of us during this eclipse, probably something came through, something fell apart, and it's aligned, it's most likely aligned, well, it should be, it's aligned with our new boundaries that we've set and things that we know we can't, what is the word I'm looking for? Things that we can no longer tolerate, but it may have been more painful than we expected it to. So I don't have enough room on my counter to pull all of these cards right now, and I can't tip my camera down because I don't know how it works. I guess I could point it like this for a minute while I talk about each of these, except it's going to be flipped and it's going to be confusing even for me, especially because this is a reverse card right here, but it looks like it's upright in the video. So I'll probably just point the camera at me while I talk about this. Excuse me. I also have a lot of carpet in this RV I'm living in, and that has been messing up with my allergies, and that's annoying. So these are going to be fairly quick horoscopes, or tarot pulls for each of the 12 zodiac signs. And if you want to learn more, I would love to book a reading with you where we can talk about your astrology, Enneagram, numerology, and pull tarot cards to know the full summary on why this is all happening for you. And let me know if it resonates in the comments below. For Aries, you feel like there was a love downfall. Something didn't go through with your love. You were waiting for an initiation of love, probably because this was in your 7th house of love relationships, and nothing happened. You felt like maybe, and in the end, this is to help you realize that what connections are real, what relationships are real. I know I'm definitely feeling this energy. You have the Ace of Cups and the 7 of Cups, reversed Ace of Cups. So you're probably waiting on a love opportunity and nothing happened, nothing came through. Maybe there's a missed love opportunity and you're going, what? I thought this whole Libra eclipse was supposed to bring in love. And again, another Cups is here to tell you that maybe you need to contemplate what connections are real. It is possible that there's all these empty cups in your life, these empty relationships that, you know, maybe can just exist with neutrality, but don't need your attention. And so this is really a time for you to realize what your real connections are. Taurus, you probably feel like you, similar, we're waiting for something to go through and instead you had to be at a standstill. You're kind of in a state of surrender. And this is really about helping you understand your mental demons, your mental overwhelm in my head. The 9 of Swords and the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man and the 9 of Swords really do come together to make themes about contemplation, contemplating your thoughts, contemplating your beliefs, contemplating your ego, contemplating and observing the things that may be holding you back. So you might have been forced to be stuck and not do something, but it's to help you realize the thoughts that are maybe getting in your way above all else. Gemini, you have the 4 of Swords reversed and the 6 of Cups reversed. I'm also in the beginning of my tarot interpretation, so let me know if these resonate and bear with me as I'm trying to interpret some of these cards. Gemini, it seems like to me that maybe you were, for you, maybe able to break free of a mental pattern, and you may have realized that you were living in the past and you were able to overcome this. It seems to me like maybe it's possible that maybe you weren't living up to your mental expectations, how you're supposed to think, how you're supposed to speak. It could also be that you were rationally breaking free of your thoughts, but in the end, it was to help you realize that You can't keep living from the past. You can't idealize the past. You can't idealize past connections. You can only see reality. And you had to realize that and recognize this is not the truth. Similar to Aries. You guys are both realizing what was not serving you, what relationships aren't serving you. Cancer, you may have had there's a lot of swords here, I swear. I feel like a lot of people are having, in the end, this is about mental breakthroughs. And that's partly because we had a full moon lunar eclipse going along with this Libra eclipse conjunct Mercury. So there's a lot to do with our thoughts and beliefs, especially our unconscious beliefs, and how that changes our communication. So for Cancer, you probably had some sort of critical talk, some sort of maybe conversation with a critical figure, critical mother figure. There was some hard conversation that probably needed to be had, or maybe you had to tell someone this. Maybe you were the receiver, maybe you were the giver, but either way, there was a critical conversation, I think, that played out where you had to be maybe a bit more harsh, or you end up being more harsh than you wanted to be. And this was to remind you that you maybe are not listening to your intuition. Maybe you are out of alignment with your intuition. The Mother of Swords, also known as the Queen of Swords, combined with the High Priestess reversed, to me, indicates someone who's using their mind over they're using their brain over their mind. And so maybe Cancer, for you recently, you've been recognizing with this eclipse that you use your brain, not your mind, to lead your life, and that you need to tap into your intuition more. Leo, for you, this seems to me with the Three of Swords reversed, this would be in my interpretations that you avoided a conflict with someone else, maybe multiple other people, maybe you have coworkers, maybe you have a group of friends, and you were able to avoid a conversation, or maybe it's possible that you needed to have a conflicting conversation but didn't. Maybe you needed to bring up some truth, bring up some issues you have, and this didn't happen. In the end, though, this lack of conflict, this lack of communication that was needed, is to remind you that you probably need to do what nurtures you the most. You may be not nurturing yourself. This is similar to Cancer's horoscope in the sense that you guys are both suppressing something you should be embracing, but it's possible that you need to nurture yourself. The Empress reverse implies someone who's not in touch with their feminine energy, someone who is being too passive, someone who is not embracing the positive sides of feminine nurturing energy, not nurturing themselves. Virgo, I gotta switch positions here because my foot is falling asleep with how I'm sitting on this couch. Virgo, you have, interestingly enough, the Daughter of Swords and the Son of Swords. So double swords energy in both court cards, as what I believe they're called. It's possible that you started a new learning. You've probably initiated some sort of new self-discovery, learning something new, part of something new, joining something new, but you feel like you are recognizing that you need to be less critical, less driven. You need to be more receptive. Having an upright feminine card and a reversed masculine card implies that, to me, that you're recognizing that you need to have less ego in your thoughts, in your beliefs, in your actions, in what you learn about, in what your knowledge is. Less wrapped up in how you think. And this could be something you're recognizing. For me, it seems like for Virgo specifically, not much is falling apart, so to say, for you guys. But maybe you're recognizing that you need to let go of old ways of thinking, and that could be hard. So let's get the other 6 out now that I have some room. We got Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Libra, you have the Daughter of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles reversed. To me, that says you probably had some sort of financial loss, or to me, knowing that this is happening in Libra's first house, you could have had a self-loss, a loss of self. You probably saw yourself as someone very grounded, stable, who took care of themselves, was on top of everything, but now that seemed to have fallen away. You feel like you're questioning this person that you normally are, this stable Daughter of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, who is feminine, grounded, takes care of themselves, the ultimate self-care era girly. But it's to help you realize that maybe you have a misaligned, maybe what you thought was a successful, stable life is not really what you have. Maybe you want to redefine what a successful life and a stable life really is. Scorpio, you also have, similar to Libra, a Pentacles, you have the Mother of Pentacles, though, also known as the Queen of Pentacles, along with the Five of Cups. The Mother of Pentacles, I would say that this is someone in your life who is this role, someone who nurtures you. It could literally be a mother, or it could just be someone who plays the role of financial nurturer and provider, someone who makes you feel like you have a sense of stability. Something could have been going on with that connection during this eclipse season. Maybe you guys disconnected, maybe you became this person, maybe there's a separation. But overall, it was to help you recognize maybe a deeper emotional loss that you feel, a deeper emotional disconnect. Having a Pentacles and Cups combination, to me, especially with the Mother of Pentacles, which implies a nurturing role, implies to me that there's maybe for you, Scorpio, that you felt like you finally had one that maybe provided for you what you thought you wanted, but there's a deeper emotional connection that needs to be provided that you're not getting, and that's needed. So there's many different kinds of connections we can have. There's different things that we can be provided with. It's not just physical security. Maybe you need something that is an emotional, vulnerable connection. That's my interpretation. Sagittarius, you have the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Cups reversed. I would say that there's probably, you're waiting for all the stars to align with your connections, with your life. You're waiting for everything to be rainbows and sunshine. You really felt like that was coming your way, but instead there's a secret that needed to be revealed. There's a misconception, there's a lie. Maybe you're lying to yourself, maybe someone's lying to you. You expected things to be all working out during this time, and quite simply put, they didn't. Things did not go the way you intended to, and instead you feel like there's a truth that is not coming out. I feel like that was a shorter one for Sagittarius, but I feel like that was the simple way to put it. Facing the truth and pushing for the truth is maybe what's happening for you during this time. Capricorn. Am I actually on Capricorn? Yeah. Capricorn, you have the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. This is an interesting combination for you. There's probably something to do with, in my head, I know Pentacles really have to do with self-worth along with our physical security and our financial security. Maybe a lot of tarot readers would disagree with that and say self-worth has more to do with different suits, maybe like the sword suit, but to me it is. Maybe you feel like Four of Pentacles is upright, is all about rigidity and having stable structure with our security, and with it reversed, that it can imply that there is a missed security, or maybe that there some sort of rigid, how do I say this? Something that may have been a reliable sense of security may have fallen apart. You may feel like your stable structures in finances and in your money and in your self-worth and in your life and your security has fallen apart. But in the end, this is to remind you that you are a master of your craft, that you can really do anything you set your mind to, that you have gifts, you have talents. It is interesting to me too that we have the Four of Pentacles for you and the Eight. 2 4s make an 8. So this is really about you letting go of maybe what is playing small for you with your financial security and using your talents to get even more abundance than you can imagine. 8 is the number of abundance and power. Aquarius, you have the Five of Swords reversed and the Star reversed. The Star reversed, as a reminder, is kind of an interesting one for me, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first, you may have felt like you avoided mental chaos during this eclipse season. You caught negative thought patterns, you caught negative behavior, you avoided conflict with your mind. Or it's possible that instead of overcoming this, that you avoided this conflict. You were conflict avoidant and you needed to face these shadows, but you didn't. But this is a reminder to you that you maybe don't need to be disillusioned. You maybe need to be a little bit more practical, maybe even a little less focused on hope and a little more focused on action. And finally, Pisces, you have the Justice card reversed and the Eight of Cups reversed. I pulled so many reverse cards, some people might say, like, did you hold your deck upside down? But I swear, like, whenever I look at my deck, it's literally 50-50 of cards. So I think in the end, with a lot of reverse cards for all of you guys, it does imply what we're saying. It feels like there was a missed opportunity. Things didn't go as planned. Things didn't go through the way we expected them to, but it's to invite us to reflect and realize something unexpected that is going to play into our greater character development. So for Pisces, you probably felt like there was justice needed to be served, and it did not. There was a critical moment that was supposed to happen, a choice, literally justice needed to be served to someone, and that didn't go through. And maybe it's to remind you that you don't need to see things so, how would I interpret that? The Eight of Cups upright does imply an emotional loss in moving on from broken relationships, but with it reversed, it maybe implies to me that there's some unfinished business in relationships. So maybe you're waiting for a final decision to be made, Pisces, a final cutting someone off, but you couldn't, or they couldn't. And it's maybe because you need to assess what is there first one last time before you move on. There may be something there still in those cups that you need. So that was kind of the summary on all those different zodiac signs and what may have played out for you guys. Overall, for all of us, it feels like there was something missed. It kind of felt like we expected something to wrap up more, or something more positive and liberating, so to say, that like a firework that was supposed to go off during eclipse season, during the Libra eclipse, but instead it feels like a bomb went off. And this is because there's something greater for us to learn in order to develop further. Eclipses really are, in the end, about our mental development. And with this being an eclipse conjunct the South Node in Libra, there's something that needed to be purged, to be cleansed out. And so maybe with reflection, you can recognize that these things that are happening are in alignment with the boundaries that you've been setting, the things that you realized you wanted, but it may have not been how you wanted it to come. Unfortunately, I think for us all, that's kind of what played out. But let me know in the comments below, how did eclipse season play out for you? Did you feel like it was a complete train wreck? And what are the lessons that may be lying beneath that? Like everyone always says, you know, destruction brings new creation. That's just the circle of life, even though it's annoying. But let me know what you're feeling in the comments below. And if you want to learn how to interpret events such as the eclipse for yourself, I encourage you to check out my course in the link in the description below, the Master Astrologer, where you can learn at your own pace how to be an astrologer. We dive deep into everything you could possibly need to know about the stars to become your own tailored astrologer, as well as I'm offering my own guidance, of course, in there to help you guys understand how I built my own interpretations. But again, this is for you to become your own astrologer, become an astrologer for other people. And if you want to get 50% off, comment the words Master Astrologer in all caps in the comments below, and I will tell you how you can get 50% off. Other than that, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, stay tuned for more videos, and let me know what you guys want to hear about next. What are your questions regarding the stars, whether that's birth chart or upcoming transits? I know we have quite a few transits coming up in the month of October. That'll be kind of big, but nothing's going to be as big as this eclipse. So things should slowly be getting easier and easier. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name is Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.